This is part 3 of Anna's writing. We did part 1 where this student just started with us and how she wrote. She probably scored around 5 at that time. Right now, this is her final version. Within 3 weeks, this was her improvement. Right now, today, if she writes like this, she's going to score a 12. This is a very, very high level of English writing. We're going to look at that. We're going to look at the changes she has made and what you need to do to score a 12 as well. And the transformation with this girl has been amazing over the 3 weeks. She went back and rewrote this same question. By the way, you can pause the video and read the question because we're going to go through the answer now. So we'll see the changes that she has made, and you will see this looks phenomenal. She understood the examiner marking scheme. We promised her we will get her to this level. She still has work to do, but right now this looks like she's in the most perfect level imaginable. She starts with, Dear Recruiting Manager, the purpose of my writing today, this is the template, and then to inform you of my intention to join your, this is the addition. Everything you see here in bold is the addition from last time, from part 2. And you can see parts 1 and 2 of Anna's writing in the description, and you can also see them on our channel. So esteemed is an adjective. Every time you add adjectives, it adds description. It gives you points on task response and range of vocabulary. So she forced this in. And this was an incorrect sentence grammatically. On a part-time, it should be on a part-time basis. Part-time should be hyphenated. But she just left that out because we told her, because in our last attempt, she didn't have 2 sentences per body. So we said you need to put more words in your body paragraphs, and that's why she's trying to be conservative here and removing some unnecessary words. Like this one is not going to give her any marks. She got rid of them. Okay, look at the start, all right? This is the first bullet point she's answering. Introduce yourself. She says, I'm Anna. Not my name is. Everybody's going to say my name is. She understands right now the importance of being unique. And she's going to say something different than other candidates. I am Anna. Semicolon, which is going to give her marks for range of punctuation. Then she does not say I am very. This is the one she said in the last attempt. She doesn't say that. That's in italics. Everything that's in italics is from her last attempt. So she says I'm Anna, semicolon. Diligent and assiduous are the keywords that define me. This is such a fancy phrasing. Instead of saying I am like this, she put a semicolon and continued the second part of her sentence. That's what semicolons do. That's the function of them. You have 2 fancy words here, which are also adjectives. So you're getting marks on range of vocab because you're giving adjectives. You're getting marks on task response because it is descriptive, and you're getting marks on high level of vocabulary. Her second sentence is a complex one. Starts with being, so it's a 2-part sentence because being passionately something something, comma, something something. So that's the mark for a complex sentence. She has another complex sentence here, moving on to. It's also divided into 2 parts. And I think, yeah, she has one more here. Nonetheless, because it's in the middle of the writing, middle of the sentence, there's a connector divided again with a semicolon and a comma, which is fancy punctuation. So that's 3 complex sentences. Full marks for that. She's gonna get lots of marks for range. And passionately is a ly. It's an adverb. Adverb also adds to the range of vocab. So being passionately drawn to arts and sports, I find myself an enthusiast of the same high-level vocab, and it is an adjective yet again. Here you see adverb, adjective, complex sentence, and phrasing as well. Being passionately drawn to art. That is unique phrasing, and even this one, I find myself an enthusiast of the same. I can say there's 3 idiomatic expressions here that are unique, because most people would say, I love arts and sports and I am very interested in that, right? And she has used very, very high level vocab almost after every word. I can see she's trying to do something there. So you got to force these things in. And look at this. This is 1 sentence and 1 sentence. So you got 2 sentences answering introduce yourself, full marks for task response, okay? Next question is explain what experience and skills you have. Now her 1 sentence was on experience, and the second sentence was on skills. Once again, 2 sentences. Same thing you would see here. There's not 2 sentences in this one. There is 1/2 of a sentence before the semicolon and the other half after the semicolon. That's going to answer your last bullet point. So that's how she has properly organized her task response. One thing is 1 bullet point gets 1 paragraph. So you have 3 bullet points, 3 bodies, and each body paragraph has 2 points. Okay, so again, full marks for that. And you look at the transition, moving on to my experience. That's how she starts her body 2. And body 3, she says concurrently. Instead of saying currently, she says concurrently. Again, fancier phrasing. She also told us, she told her teacher, and she communicated it to me. She was saying I here, and you can see in her last attempt, she was also starting the next phrase with I, and it was too many I's. And even if you put this on Grammarly, it points that out, that you should not start every sentence with I. So she purposefully changed that to this one, trying to be unique at every turn. The same thing happened when she moved from body 2 to body 3, unique range of words and phrasing. It's not the same thing you see every time. Okay, so with experience, you see the last time she said this part, okay? So she said, I have 2 years experience in teaching football to young girls. Look at how she changed it this time. Moving on to my experience, I have 2 years. First of all, 2 should be spelled, not like that. So some grammar mistakes have been corrected as well. 2 years of tennis coaching experience, not just experience. Tennis coaching experience, a full description, with young girls ages 12 to 14. So this is descriptive, not just, I have 2 years experience teaching young girls. It's descriptive, and you should be descriptive. She has a hyphen here. So this is basically putting this in brackets. Hyphen does the same thing, but you're not allowed parentheses or brackets in CELPIP writing. So you should use hyphens. This is, again, a range of vocab, punctuation. You got hyphen, you got semicolons, you got semicolon and a comma with a connector sandwich in between, and you got, of course, full stops and commas. So you got almost every punctuation mark conceivable, and you're going to get marks for that. Now, again, connection. Look at the flow. During this time until present, I have been apt at high-level vocab, unique phrasing, apt at identifying and eliminating strategic gameplay weaknesses, very fancy phrasing, that have led our teams to a victory time after time. So she is now talking about her skills, once again answering everything in the question, not missing any task response, and nicely phrasing everything. She's not just saying every time she wants to write something. We have now told her, you gotta make everything better. So if you're trying to say I have been good at, you will say I have been apt at. And if you're saying I've been good at making our teams win, your brain is thinking that basic, right? Now you make it fancy. You have to glamorize it. It's going to be apt at identifying and eliminating strategic gameplay weaknesses. You have strategic, which is an adjective, and these are verbs nicely phrased because that's what you're doing as your skills, and gameplay weaknesses instead of just saying the weak areas. Again, this is another adjective before weaknesses that have led to our team having victories time after time. That's good. And concurrently, the question was here, tell him or her when you think you can start. She says, I'm finished with my term, nearly, which is, again, a good adverb. The more adverbs and adjectives you have, the better. And then she uses nonetheless. Instead of saying however, she uses nonetheless. She puts a semicolon here and a comma here, which is going to make this complex phrasing, punctuation, and this whole sentence is now becoming a complex sentence because it's connected by a connector and separating 2 parts. If I were to receive an early offer from your club, I would be required to give a 2-week notice to my managers. Again, nicely phrased, not just saying that I will give 2 weeks notice if you give me an offer. This is passive. Passive is right here. Actually, both of them are passive. If I were to receive, then I would be required. She's not saying I will give a 2-week notice. I would be required to. This is passive voice. So she's using a range of active and passive voices, simple and complex sentences, a range of punctuation as well, and answering all questions while at it. Finishing with our template, and this one she removed it this time. The exclamation marks do not go in the formal letters, and finished this nicely. This was flawless, no mistakes. I was highly impressed with this writing. She did a wonderful job, and you can see in 3 weeks students can realistically make this progress. I will be sharing her part 2 progress as well. By that I mean task 2. So the essay writing, we're going to talk about that in the next few videos as well. For more content, please subscribe. And if you want to write like Anna, we offer coaching classes. Right now, she's on week 3 of our live coaching sessions. If you want more info for that, check out my email in the description and email me. We'll set you up with a free trial session. If you like it, you proceed from there, and our experts guarantee your success. Hope you like this video, and I hope you learned a lot. Thank you, and good luck.